you're in the TalkSport team, and there's a lot of interesting and fun characters. So let's just do a quick fire, and the first thing that comes into your head. I'm going to reel off some names. You've mentioned some of them already.
Okay.
Alan Brazil.
He paid for my wedding and for my divorce with all the overtime I got from him. All the cover shifts I ended up getting on the breakfast show when he failed to show up. One morning, I was at home in my old place in Solihull, and the phone rang. It was dark, just a bit hello. And it was, all right, Dance, it's Dave, who was the breakfast show assistant producer. So, all right, Dave, what's going on? He said, look, Alan's come in, but we're not putting him on air.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he'd had a bit of an all-nighter at Langan's Brasserie or something. So he said, could you do the first hour whilst he has a kip on the sofa, and we'll see how things look at 7 o'clock? I said, yeah, okay, what's the time? He said it's 5:57. So you immediately you jump out of bed, pull on some clothes, run downstairs, set up your ISDN kit, click it on, it frames, and there's the sports bulletin just finishing, and they've just sent you the script for the opener. So, but Alan, he is the original bon viveur, and he is brilliant company. When you spend time with Alan, as I have, it's a hoot, an absolute hoot. But I am grateful to him for all the overtime.
And it's so funny when you tell people he never missed a one-on-one and was one of the best players running in behind you'll ever see. Ewan's TV, on behalf of Watford, I apologise. Not sure a good view would always have been an advantage.
It's a great view now. It's a great view now where we are. We're bang on halfway behind the dugouts in that new Elton John stand. It's a fabulous working position now at Watford.
What about Adrian Durham? Because he's a bit of a prodder, isn't he, on the radio and on social media?
See, I get a lot of this. Adrian is one of the people I'm asked about more than anybody else. I love Adrian to bits. He is incredibly knowledgeable. The amount of work Adrian puts in is way beyond what I do. He's a brilliant presenter. All right, he may rub people up the wrong way, but it's not an act. He doesn't have those opinions just for giggles. He's a genuinely opinionated man about lots of things. But I won't hear a bad word said, against Adrian. I've worked with him for long enough to know how conscientious he is about the work he puts in. And when you listen to him, the one thing is, these days, I don't really get to listen to his Saturday afternoon round the grounds format because I'm doing a game on TalkSport 2 at 3 o'clock at the same time. But on the occasions when I get to do that show and work with Adrian, I'm metaphorically bowing to him and wishing I could touch the hem of his garment because his attention to detail is second to none.
Brilliant. And the other two names I've got, you spoke to this morning, Jim White and Simon Jordan. Extraordinarily popular show every morning now.
Well, TalkSport, it's like 3 million listeners now, and Jim and Simon were sort of thrown together. I don't know, 18 months ago, something like that, maybe. I'm trying to think how long they've been in tandem on mid-mornings because Jim had a different co-host for a time. But they bat off each other. And, Simon will have no truck with, anybody who has an opinion that he sees as easy to pick apart. He's not going to call a spade a you-know-what, is he, Simon Jordan? He's going to go, full in. And like this morning, he was trying not to be flippant about the whole Birmingham scene, but I could tell that there were things that he was kind of overlooking. So I'm trying to, put him right on that without, whilst doing it in an intelligent and a conversational way rather than just, winding him up. But Simon is, he's a force of nature and he's an easy target in some ways because, you ruin Crystal Palace, blah, blah, blah. But, until you and I are in a position, Ben, where we're running a football club and we have everything to deal with, then, better the devil you know, I guess. But yeah, it's a popular show. It's gathering momentum for sure, that show.
100%. And I'm sure TalkSport will clip it out on YouTube, but it's about an hour and a half in. Iain is on with Simon Jordan and Jim
Yeah, if they
White.
don't clip it, there's always once the show's finished. Well, it's finished now. The listen again function is always available on the app or on the website, so people can go to the White and Jordan show and scroll through to about an hour and a half in, and you'll be able to hear the interview then. It's around 11:30.
Just one more great broadcaster I want to ask you about. I don't want to argue with you in the slightest, but
You might do.
Is Jeff Stelling, who's going to be leaving the Soccer Saturday chair. Am I right in thinking that has a bit of a feel of replacing Alex Ferguson, whoever goes in there next? But what a job he's done.
Well, I mean, Jeff and Adrian are very much peas in a pod in terms of the knowledge that they bring. And Jeff has done it for so long. I sometimes feel that Adrian doesn't get the credit he deserves for doing what Jeff does on the radio. Because, a goal goes in at Colchester, let's say, and it's Freddie Sears who scored. And Adrian will know.
You'll be lucky.
Well, yeah, but that's his 6th of the season or something like that. He'll know. And Adrian won't need to look it up, or he won't need to scramble around on the internet to get that. He'll have that detail. And Jeff's the same. And these are people we should cherish in broadcasting, the people that go the extra yard to make sure that the information's there, lodged, ready for an appropriate moment during a broadcast.
Do you think the ratings are going to drop off when he leaves?
I don't know. I mean, I don't get to see that show. And I haven't seen Soccer Saturday, even when Jeff was doing it with Lettice and Charlie and Phil Thompson before that team was sort of broken up, because I've been at games every Saturday now for, over 20 years. So it's not a show I get to see, and therefore I don't feel comfortable having an opinion on it because it's not really fair. Your point about who would be next, yes, they're tough shoes to fill based on what I see, the highlights I see of it. Yeah, maybe you want to be the presenter after Jeff Stelling, a bit like you want to be the manager after Sir Alex Ferguson. But
absolutely,
I don't fancy it, if that's what you're asking in a roundabout school.
Look, it's not something that anybody would turn down, isn't it? But there you go.